A lot of you guys want to know how I dress like this. What's the inspiration? What's the process? You know, vintage communist edition. So it starts with my hair and makeup. I was inspired by this image, which specifically dated the look I was most drawn to as being from 1931. Today in Seattle, it's in the 70s. So I was looking for spring and summer outfits from 1931. Ended up coming across this image on the Wiki Commons page, which led me down a rabbit hole of seeing what images were part of this collection. I ended up being inspired by these. In the end, I chose this navy pinafore that I got at a Goodwill. It's probably 90s, but the length and silhouette, depending on how tight you tie it in the back, works for a lot of different eras. Then I have this shirt, which is a reproduction 1940s, more casual blouse from the brand Freddies of Pinewood. Because of the poof shoulder detail and the tie around the neck, it does give off a more 1930s look. Now, I like the 1930s because, well, it's a fantastic era of history when it comes to labor movements, progress in the Soviet Union, and the Communist Party in the United States. But I also like the length of things. I am Muslim and I have certain personal boundaries and comforts when it comes to how I want to cover. I can still give off a 1930s look with a high neck and a hat. An amount of coverage that I'm okay with personally when it's hot out. That being said, this cloche is modern. There's nothing too special about it. Authentic cloches from the 20s and 30s are very expensive, and reproductions can be as well. So this is just generic, but I was able to jazz it up and make it look of the era with this 1930s Bakelite Art Deco hat pin and just folding the brim around in a way that mimics styles of the time. The shoes I'm wearing are 1930s reproduction, and I was given them by my friend, NuwaHanfu. They're actually sold on her shop, NuwaHanfu. They are the Three Rivers shoes. I also put on this 1930s communist pin, read Communist Press, and my bag is an authentic Soviet map case, though much later. The style of map cases never changed too much over the years, so most military surplus map cases and bags will give off anything from the 30s to the 70s. And lastly, my sunglasses. These are 40s reproduction, but similar shapes were also worn in the 30s. And so that's the thought process and exactly what I'm wearing. It's also important to note that I'm not trying to replicate the fashion plates that I showed you. Most of them are French and the designs are quite, well, bourgeois. Due to my personal moral and ideological stances, I'm always going to go for something a bit more simple. Still natural fibers, made well, last a long time, but thrifted and not so elegant, I suppose. Something that's sturdy but still gives the look. Anyways, I hope that's helpful. I quite like this outfit.